Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's really nice to have you here today. I have something very cool on the table, and I blame Metal Complex. This thing is really cool. This is the Wicked Dream Designs Nefarious. And I saw this over on Metal Complex's channel and thought, yeah, that looks cool. And so I went ahead and ordered one, and it is exactly as I hoped it would be. Now, I went ahead and ordered with it the Zircuti extra kit, and I paid about $180 for that privilege. We'll talk about the price of the knife in a bit. I think they're $330 something. This is not just a user knife, right? It is complex in its design. It is interesting to look at. Let's just get that out of the way. If you're looking at this and thinking, well, that's not just, you can't just carry and cut with it. Well, you can, in fact, just carry and cut with it. It is very slicey. But if you want just a pocket knife, there are a million choices. There really are. This is something else. This is designed for design sake, but done in a way that still keeps it as a really functional and useful cutting tool. And that is a really cool combination, and more rare than you think. Often knives that are, let's go with artistic in design, give up a fair amount of their functionality, but this thing, nope. It works just as a pocket knife. You just got to think about it a little bit. What do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about the tip of this blade. First, that is very pokey. It is nice and thick. It is hollow ground, so it is a very nice slicer. But up here at this tip, you have this sort of, well, let's put it this way. This is not an easy knife to sharpen. This part is. That's no problem. But maintaining this edge is going to take a little thought. Now, I have a Spyderco bar style sharpener that I use. But I got to tell you, when the time comes to sharpen this thing, I'm going to send it to somebody who I trust, because I would screw up this tip right here, this corner, in very short order. I know that about myself. Beyond that, this thing is just cool. Now, they make these with black handles and traditional stonewash blades. They sent a PVD coated version to Metal Complex, all black. It's just fun to carry. It's fun to look at, and it is easy, great to use. I mean, it's opened a bunch of packages for me so far. It's done everything that I wanted it to, without fail. The designer says that this design came to him in a dream. I believe it. It's a liner lock, which is a nice touch. So it's a steel liner inside of titanium scales, which are really milled out. Sorry, that's kind of a bright light. Let me see if I can. There we go. Put it. Yeah. Can you guys see in there? There we go. Both sides. Yeah, that's a pain in the butt. There you go. Both sides are milled out a lot. Keeps the weight down. I love how thick the blade is, and then it just comes to this lovely wedge at the tip. And I'll tell you, man, that is really pokey. If you needed to give something a little move along, that would certainly do it. It's got a great spot for your thumb to land right here, and my thumb lands there pretty naturally. I mean, I have big hands. I could come forward a little bit, but it's not an effort to get it there. For slicing cuts this way. For draw cuts, it has this lovely little edge right there, right? Does a beautiful job that way. That's just a cool knife. Let's take a look at what you get on the Nefarious. You get 3.5 inches of cutting on 3.5 inches of MagnaCut, which is a really nice. It's just nice. Everybody knows MagnaCut at this point. There's apparently another version called Magna something. I don't know. I saw it over on Cedric and Ada. They're still advancing that blade steel. They're trying different things, which I think is cool. So be on the lookout. This is $339 in its basic form. The Zirc kit's about $180. That is up to you. I decided, since I consider this kind of an art knife, that I would bring it up to that next level. But you don't have to. I'll put a link in the description to the website. As soon as I put this up on Instagram, the designer reached out to me. Very nice guy. Very cool to talk to. Very easy to talk to. One of the real joys of the knife industry, the way it is that... Oh, and this is made by Bestech, by the way. That's the OEM. Is that you get stuff like this. You get just some person in their house one day wakes up and says, I've got this idea. And if they're willing to commit to it, companies like Bestech will bring it to life, and they do a great job. Kunwu, Kubi, they're... I think even like Artisan does OEM builds. These companies, and you don't have to have millions and millions of dollars. You can make small batch. You can make your idea come to life. That's cool. Let's see. All right. So anyway, sorry. 3.5 inches of that MagnaCut of cutting, 3.5 inches of blade. Grip area from behind the flipper tab, and it's a fairly aggressive flipper, but because of this design, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, and almost 4.25 inches of blade handle. I mean, it's lots of room, and it's comfortable. Yeah, it really is. From tip to tail, we are at 8.25 inches overall, which is a really nice size knife. In the pocket, you're looking at 5 inches, which is nice. Now, the pocket clip is over to the side and at kind of an interesting angle. So, I don't notice it when I'm carrying it in my pockets because, I mean, they're jeans. But I suppose if you were wearing looser pants, it might wobble a little. But because of where that pivot point is, right, when it's squeezing pivot, it tends to hang this way. So it'll hang towards the outside edge of your pocket, which is nice. The flipper tab is jimped, but not sharp. All the jimping is really grippy without being like thumb shreddy, which is a really nice feature. The pivot, which is part of what you get when you do the kit, mine was just all this same stonewashed gray, but it's shaped like that, which locks it into place, which is a really nice feature, so it won't turn. I just think this thing is pretty. Let's do some size comparisons. How about against an M-Fire from the folks over at Winter Blade Co.? Not too bad. How about, what do we have? Oh, sorry about that. Well, I guess I don't have anything that interesting on the table right now. So here it is against the full-size Ritter Hogue, and as you can see, it is longer than a full-size Griptilian, which is what that is analog to. And I showed this earlier. This is a great knife, but it's just a knife. Here it is against the Hogue Deca. Fairly standard pen, right? Maybe that'll help a little bit. I used to keep... Oh, here we go. How about a C-size battery? Excuse me, a D-size battery. There we go. How's that? Does that help? Oh, rolling away. Do size comparisons help you guys? I do it because I learned to do reviews that way, but I find myself wondering sometimes if it actually, like, helps anyone. How about a Kershaw Iridium? There we go. The action is very good. It's got a little, right, it catches right there, but then it lets go, it slams shut. It's very smooth, right? Deployment is only the flipper. So there's no thumb studs, there's no holes, there's no, you can't, I mean, you might be able to with pressure. No. Anyway, deployment is single option deployment. I just think this is a well done knife. Anyway, let's go ahead and weigh it out. The Nefarious comes in at 4.7 ounces, which is relatively hefty, but it is a decent sized knife. And again, for 3.5 inches of that MagnaCut, particularly 3.5 inches at almost 4 millimeters, which is, it's 100 and, wait, what are we doing? There we go. Is that right? Yeah. 150 thousandths of an inch, 0.15. It's a nice thick slice, but because the flat is way up here, right? And oh, by the way, this is all like chamfered down on the edges. It is a long drop on a hollow grind, and so it is, as I said, very slicey. Being a collector is just that. I collect knives. Stuff that interests me does not have to interest you. I try to do, regular knifey knife stuff. But this channel is not about selling knives to you. It's about the knives that I think are interesting and that I bring into my collection. And this just qualifies. It is unique. It is interesting. And I love that about it. And on that note, we'll wrap up. This is the Wicked Dream Designs Nefarious. Their one and only design. I hope very much that this guy comes forward with other new things. I would be really interested to see where he goes from here. I hope you've enjoyed this look at what is truly a fascinating cutting tool. I appreciate your time today. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.